Hey guys, okay, so I'm gonna try and condense this as much as I can, right? But I want you to think about your life now, currently as it is. Like, not the life you want to have, not the life that you are working towards, the life that you actually have now. Okay, then, so pause or whatever, right? But then I want you to think about what you say and how much what you say correlates with the life that you have now. And this is the point that I want to make. I feel like I should have paused there for like dramatic effect or whatever. But I mean, you get the point. Here's the thing. The only way for us to really know what we believe, really know what we believe, is to listen to what we say. Because we or like, it's easy to trick ourselves, right? So when we walk around and people are like, oh, you know, I'm so broke and I'm so, not only are you allowing those words, or not only are you giving those words life, right? But you are actually letting us know what it is that you actually believe, okay? And this is why I think it's important. So, I mean, there's many talks, right, where people talk about life and death is in the power of the tongue. There's speaking faith. You know, there's talks where we really encourage people to speak faith. There's so many ways that people ring this thing, okay? But here's where I've been challenged quite a bit over the past few months. Yeah, actually. What do I really believe? Like, really, what do I believe? Not what I'm walking around proclaiming, not what I'm declaring, not what I am lying to myself about, right? But what do I actually believe? Because regardless of what I really believe, when I speak and I give life to the words that I say, okay, I am training my mind to train my body, to train my heart, to train my life, to actually live in that path. And it is, listen, let me tell you something. When Jeremiah says, above all else, the heart is, wait, what does he say? The heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it, right? Above all else, the heart is deceitful, desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's what it says. The man knew what he was talking about, because even when I have mirror sessions, okay, so for those mirror sessions is when I sit in front of a mirror. Sometimes I use a mirror, sometimes I use my phone, but it's so that I can see my facial expression, right? Because what Jeremiah 17 verse 9 is saying is that the easiest person for me to lie to is myself, okay? So mirror sessions kind of forces me to confront myself. I sit in front of a mirror and I ask myself questions and I interrogate myself and I talk to myself. And the challenge there is to be brutally honest, right? Because if I'm not honest about what I really believe, then I can't actually fix it. And what that's done is, in conversation, it has started challenging me so much, because suddenly I can't say things like, oh, you're killing me, you know, when like I'm actually laughing, you know, from my gut. Or if I don't have money now, then I need to say that I don't have money now, right? So because I don't want to block anything that will happen or that could potentially happen in the future. And the biggest example of this that I can give you was a few weeks ago. I was busy praying for a friend of mine. Forgive me if I get emotional. A few weeks ago, I was busy praying for a friend of mine. And Holy Spirit stopped me and he asked me, he was like, you know, you've had so many conversations around this. What do you think this person actually believes around this thing that you're busy praying for? You know, and it was a really difficult thing to answer, because if I listened just to what this friend was saying, then what they believe is actually that where they found themselves at that moment in time was their portion, right? And then this feeling like just came over me, like, you know, here I am laboring in prayer, but the next conversation that person has, they're going to nullify my prayer, right? And look, grace will always abound, right? That's one of the things we love about God. Like, that's one of the things I love about God, is that sometimes, even when I've said the wrong thing, or when I've asked for the wrong thing, when I haven't said anything about it, is that he's able to, you know, he shows grace and he's able to give favor in that moment. But there was such a seriousness in my spirit around the fact that when we labor in prayer, what we say in our daily lives can so easily nullify what we're laboring for in prayer. And that's why I think I started asking you to look at your life, look at your words, and then see how much they correlate. Because it's actually insane how much what I'm saying on the daily is what is coming out in real life, you know. And if I'm really honest, like, that is what convicts me to not lie. Because I mean, I'm actually so glad I don't even work a corporate job anymore, because I don't know how many sick days I took when I wasn't really even sick, you know what I mean? Or so doing things like that. And then, I mean, now I'm so aware that if I tried to use sickness as an excuse, almost 99%, 99.9 out of 10 times, I'm going to be that sick that I was pretending, you know, to be when I use sickness as an excuse. Like, it's actually insane. And the manifestation doesn't always come out immediately, right? It takes a while. But I think the lesson there is what we know from what the Bible tells us. We have to be conscious of what we really believe, and then listen to what it is we are actually saying with our mouths. Because this, you know, the picture of life and death can be a fairy tale if we don't understand that what I say now, I'm actually giving permission as a believer, right? I mean, just as a believer. What I say, I'm giving permission for that thing to actually come. So where we get to rejoice is that, yes, like, there's many areas where I suck at it, right? But there are so many areas where I'm getting it right. So it doesn't just work for the bad, it works for the good as well, you know. And obviously there is stewarding. I mean, you can't just say, oh, it's about what I say, you know, what I believe, what I'll say, and that's it. We have to be stewards of that, okay? So please don't misunderstand me. And maybe I'll talk about stewarding tomorrow. But just this notion of, it's not just around what's bad, it's also around what's good. So look at your life. Look at your life and look at what you say, and how much of your life is actually just living out exactly what it is you say, whether you're joking or not, right? Whether you are joking or not, how much of them actually correlate? And are those correlations then found in positive or in negative things? And may we, God help us, may we get to a point where the life that we are creating with our words is coming from the life that we truly believe, the living water that we truly believe is bubbling up from within us. Okay, have a good one.